Hello and welcome to another episode of the Plus 63 HP podcast review edition. I am one of your hosts, John Clemente. Alongside with me are a couple of my best friends. I'll start with the guy with the pink headset, CHUBAX.
Hello, this is CHUBAX or Zaddy. Welcome to our show.
Up next is another one of our best friends, the handsome dude, RJ, aka Raymond.
Hello, everyone. Good to be here. Get ready for a good show tonight.
We are blessed yet again by our fourth shared this week, the man from the West Coast, recording with us at an ungodly hour in the morning on a weekend is Arnie.
Hello there.
If you're just tuning in, the Plus 63 HP stable of podcasts includes a review show, a D&D show, and a react show coming Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, noon Philippine time and midnight Eastern Standard Time, respectively. Before we get started with this week's episode, we have a couple of very cool announcements. As a thank you for reaching or helping us reach our first milestone, which is 100 subs on our YouTube channel, where you can now launch from your browser and subscribe to youtube.com/plus63hp. We are going to have a couple of, humble raffle prizes for you guys. So we will put this on all of our socials and we'll remind you in all of our shows. But next week, we will announce 2 winners of $25 or local equivalent to your local currency as a thank you for subscribing with us. So we will pick one old subscriber, meaning if you subscribe under our 100 subs, or if you're the first 100 subscriptions, you'll have a chance to win one $25 digital transfer, and we'll pick one new subscriber. So if you're a subscriber after 100, you'll get a chance to win another $25 or local equivalent. But since this is our very, very first milestone, we have one more special gift. For our 100 subscriber, you will get RJ. What will our 100 subscriber get?
You don't get
RJ?
me. Well, it depends. You get $63. Since we are plus 63, you get plus $63 or its local equivalent in your area.
So again, thank you very much for supporting our channel. This is just the start. We will have prizes like this every milestone. So every 100 subscribers will give more cash prizes. We'll give more gifts. So thank you very much. Share it to your friends. Share it to your family. Grab your sister, your brother's laptop and phone. Have them subscribe to our channel as well. It helps us with the algorithms, and we will be reminding you about this raffle and our draw next week in our next show, so stay tuned for that. Join us next week, because next week will be a very, very fun and momentous occasion in terms of our review shows, because we have 2 of our currently running shows having their final episode or their season finale. So we're very, very excited to do that. So
Peacemaker's only 7.
Yeah, both of them are ending next week.
No, 7 and 8.
Oh shit! Sorry.
No,
okay, so it's just Boba Fett.
Just the week after.
Boba Fett.
Okay, see, this
As
is
far
why we
as we
need to
know.
do more notes. Yeah?
As far as we know,
yeah.
because it sounds like it's not gonna be, unless it's a 2-hour episode. I don't know.
Exactly. There's a lot more.
it's gonna-
There's a lot more meat on the
It's gonna
bone.
be
So
within.
yeah.
Yeah.
Next
But,
week
yeah,
we'll be
Sure.
Cliffhangers for sure. Yeah.
we'll be discussing the episode 7 of Book of Boba Fett and episode 7 of Peacemaker. We will continue to discuss the amazing animated show, The Legend of Vox Machina. But that is next week.
Woo!
Watch those with us, discuss it with us in the comments or in any of our socials. This week, though, we'll be continuing with episode 6 of the Book of Boba Fett, episode 6 of the Peacemaker, and episodes 4 to 6 of the Legend of Vox Machina. Housekeeping done. I'm very, very excited to jump in. I'm also very, very excited to pass the mic to Arnie to discuss a little bit of the plot of the Book of Boba Fett. So, Arnie, take it
All
away.
right. So this episode is jam-packed of everything Star Wars fans have been asking for. Well, not a lot, but everything. So the cold open of the episode started with a couple of Pike Syndicate members doing their spice runs, and a cowboy showed up, Mr. Cobb Vanth from
Cobb Van.
Mandalorian
Cobb Vanth.
season 2, episode 1, where he's played by Timothy Oliphant. So it just basically told them, hey, this is our territory. Get out, close down your business here. And there was a awesome shootout. So Cobb shot first, and he just dumped the spice that the Pike Syndicate was running, which is, does the spice look like the ones from Dune?
Curry.
It's exactly the same as Dune.
So we'll talk about that later. And then the credits, and then after the credits happen, we go back to Mando, continuing from last episode, where we see R2 greet him and just made Mando wait, just like in the PTA. They made the parents wait right outside the school. And then we got a amazing, I would say, 20-minute montage of Mr. Luke Skywalker and this dude over here, Mr. Grogu,
Hello, Grogu.
our resident new Jedi. Basically,
Well, we don't know yet.
we don't know yet. Yeah, exactly. But basically, if you saw Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, it's Luke's turn to train, basically Master Yoda. So Luke is just coding Yoda. He did his training run, his parkour with Grogu in his backpack. and a lot of remembering. They even did the training droid as well from episode 4, New Hope. And then while they're doing that, Mando was just chilling, and then Ahsoka Tano showed up. So basically, Ahsoka explained to Mando why he can't see Grogu, or he shouldn't see Grogu. And
Correct.
Mando, being Mando, he did the right thing, and he knew it was best for Grogu not to be seen by, for them not to see each other. But he was able to pass on the gift from the armorer.
Ooh, finally we figured out
Yeah.
what that gift is.
And we get to see that towards the end of the episode, which let's just compress all the training montages together. We also get what I call a cutscene from a video game when Luke tried to make Grogu remember what happened to him. So we did see another point of view of Order 66. There's 3 unknown Jedi apparently guarding Grogu, and we still don't know how he got out of the Jedi Temple. So maybe it will be discussed somewhere in the future. And then
Possibly.
when
Imagine
Grogu
if they show Anakin taking him out.
Oh
With a
yeah.
Hayden Christensen drop.
Yeah, it's either Anakin, or some theories are saying it's R2 who got out there, but we'll see. And then when Grogu was tired of training, we do get to see Luke Skywalker and Ahsoka Tano in the same scene. The
Chopping
friend,
it up.
the old friend of the family, talking to Master Luke, and they
So
talked
much
about
like your father.
exactly. So people lost their minds in that. And then at the end of the episode, just to cover all the Luke Grogu montage, basically Luke showed Grogu the mithril chainmail or Beskar chainmail.
It's the Lord of the Rings.
It
Kind
looks
of
like
little on the nose, but
Yeah.
I'm glad that we saw the actual gift.
yeah,
I
it
wish
looked
was
like
a helmet, though.
it looked like a Bilbo giving the mithril shirt to Frodo. But
Yes.
before he got the mail, a chainmail shirt, he also showed Master Yoda's old lightsaber.
Oh, Sophie's choice.
So he made Grogu choose, and the episode ended with Grogu just like, "What do I do?" Or why not both, right? Or something like that.
Oh, you
Why
forgot
not
about
both?
Boba
Yeah.
Mando
Oh yeah,
coming
yeah.
back to ano.
Yeah, of course.
So that's the ending of the Luke and Grogu. So now in the main storyline, if you call it the main storyline with Boba Fett, so
Oh yeah,
Mando,
there's actually Boba Fett. Okay,
yeah,
forgot.
yeah, Mando finally went to Boba's palace.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, and we did get to see Boba this time,
There's
and
a cameo of
from
Boba
Boba.
Fett
a
in this
cameo of
episode.
Boba and Black K and the mods and Fennec Shand doing the brains and tactical report, and they needed foot soldiers because they only have, well, if you count Fennec Shand, they have 3 enforcers, but they
Mhm.
needed foot soldiers, and the mods are not going to be the foot soldiers. I'm sorry, they're not going to be. So Din Jaren said, oh, he could help with that. So he went and drove up to his old friend, old pal Cobb Vanth, to Mos
Mhm.
Pelgos, or Freetown, as they call it now.
New name,
New name, who dis?
rebranding.
So basically, of course, Cobb is a little bit apprehensive because it's, this town has seen too much. They don't want to fight. But Mando was like, at least try, man. Just do me a solid, man. And then he left. And then from the desert comes a stranger. So for people who didn't know or you haven't seen Clone Wars, Cad Bane
Cad
showed up.
Bane.
And
Bane.
we got the most Western scene in Star Wars ever. So Cobb Vanth
Freaking
and
shootout.
it was a shootout with Cobb Vanth and Cad Bane. Well, the deputy being the red shirt of the day,
Yeah, the
So-
stupid deputy.
stupid deputy. So
Mhm.
basically, he distracted Cobb Vanth. So Cad Bane got the best of him. So, but the deputy was killed off, which I think is justified.
Mm.
So for your Timothy Oliphant fans there. But yeah, so basically, the theory now is because Cad Bane shut up the marshal, the Weequay and Freetown people will rally and help out Boba Fett, hopefully. But then
Mhm.
again, it's the
Hopefully.
threat.
Oh, Cobb Vanth's alive.
Yeah, oh
I
yeah,
hope
oh
so.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's not dead. As you could see, they just ignored the deputy. He's like, oh, he's dead. Don't care about him. Let's help out the marshal. And then
I like that.
and then on top of that, as the sanctuary, the new cantina that we had was some Pike syndicates, basically classic gang war intro. It's that's the first shot, basically, right?
Mhm.
So they
Mm.
blew up the cantina, and you have to point out the blue elephant-like creature, Max Rebo, was not there. He survived another explosion. Something tells me he's very sus. He probably knew something. But people still hoping that Madame Garza is still alive, but I doubt it, man. I doubt it.
Arsa Whip.
All right, so that's basically a quick rundown of the episode. A lot of things happened, and a
Cool.
cameo for Boba Fett, basically.
Thanks, Arnie.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Cool
Arnie.
rundown. Let's start with CHUBAX. What do you think about the episode and favorite storylines and predictions for next week? It is the last. It is going to be. This is the penultimate episode. Last episode is going to be coming out next week. There's still a lot of meat on this story. So let's start the discussion with you.
Oh, I loved it again like last week. This just showing that they're throwing away the Book of Boba Fett because this is the long game. We're in the end game.
Mhm.
This is the
Yep.
overall arc that's more important, and I'm fine with that. That's good because
We're in the
instead
end
of what we're used to, like regular seasons of 22 episodes a year when we were growing up. This one is like the
Yeah.
new one where we get 6 episodes and then maybe another 8 episodes of another series, but in the same story arc in the same year.
Mhm.
There's
So
some episodes that are
yeah.
stitched with each other. Yep.
Yeah.
So it's just gonna be like life, like sometimes Mando will be with Boba, sometimes he's on his own. So it's gonna be good. I love the intro was amazing with Cobb Vanth back.
Mm.
I mean, who doesn't love Timothy? And then yeah, I think the spice being looking like Dune was very intentional because
Yep.
I mean Dune was also one of the inspirations for Star Wars.
Yeah.
The
Well,
book.
Yeah.
So
intentional or like every single idea that George Lucas had is basically stolen from somebody else. So they
yeah,
just figure
Dune
out, you
and
know what? Nobody
Akira
cares.
Akira
Yeah.
Kurosawa. Well,
Yeah.
Yep.
he put his magic on it, but and then this was my problem. Oh, well, not my problem. This was my question last season when Luke got Grogu's like, we're not gonna see him again because they're not gonna show us Luke
Yeah.
again. They're not gonna fucking.
Mm.
They don't have the balls to show us Luke fucking Skywalker again. I am wrong.
Oh,
I was
you have
so
little
wrong.
faith.
That
I
is
mean,
true.
they
I
go
had
Don't
right.
underestimate Dave
They
Filoni
go
and
here.
John
They show.
Favreau.
They after the credits. I'm like, oh, before that, I still have pros and cons for
shoot.
for the Naboo Starfighter. But come on, look at
Oh,
that.
okay.
Mhm.
This angle alone.
Mhm.
Lots of shots of these are just like, damn, worth it.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
The
Yep.
pilot shot. So
The
anyway,
pilot,
so
the face cam.
yeah. So once they arrived to that planet, I was like, that's R2. So they're not gonna show Luke. And then they do in one of the
Oh.
best glow ups compared to the last season. I mean, I wasn't one of the guys that was complaining about Mando season 2. But this was a lot better, my god.
A lot better. A lot
So,
better. I mean,
I think
every
so
year.
good.
I think they hired the YouTuber who
Yeah,
improved
I
upon the
think
thing.
they did.
So
So it's so good, and then everything with Grogu. I need him to start speaking though, and then
I'm curious what the character of Grogu will sound like once he starts
yeah, I
forming.
think
Size
maybe
matters
it's
not.
like it's trauma maybe. That's why it happens when they have trauma. The younglings they lose the ability to speak because of the trauma. But I just love
Mhm.
all the little touches. When he was walking and he was using the force
Yep.
to keep
to
Grogu
move. Yeah. Oh, that was
To
dope.
to
That
drag
was
him
dope.
forward.
That was dope.
That was dope. Everything with the training droid, Ahsoka, I mean, and Mando with always the stupid questions, but somehow endearing. Like, is that a bench? Of course.
How long am I gonna wait?
And then he slept. And
Hello, anyone alive?
we get Ahsoka. Oh my god! Like, shock.
Ahsoka,
And
Ahsoka. So
I was reading Twitter and like everything was like 99% positive, and then of course there's one comment about like it's just nostalgia and stuff, but this one it's done right because the nostalgia here is not just the bad way is doing it fan service, just like Easter eggs or you just show
No,
something. These are all seeds
great
planting.
point.
They're all
Great
using
point.
them for some reason, and
Great
then
Oh yeah.
so
Yep.
we get
and it's also a commercial for the Ahsoka show coming up.
yeah.
Ooh.
So we get the.
I wonder if she's
armor.
helping out. Oh.
No, she's looking for. I think she's looking for Ezra.
Ezra and
Ezra
Thrawn.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
Admiral Thrawn.
So, we get the chainmail, which most of us are expecting it was chainmail. Though hoped it was like a helmet, but
Mm-hmm.
the chainmail, and then I think from my prediction for the Grogu arc is this episode showed that he is a main character.
Mhm.
So what's gonna happen
Yes,
is
yes.
so he can't go away. So either he's gonna choose the shirt, or
Mm-hmm.
he's gonna choose the lightsaber, and then Luke's gonna allow him to do both. Because
Mhm.
he can't
That's
disappear.
what I hope for, but I
Right?
think I think that's season 5
Yeah.
Which one?
of Mandalorian.
Which
Yeah.
what part?
So I think he'll start with my personal pick. He will start with the lightsaber, but Luke will immediately kind of understand that, oh, because remember in the Force Awakens,
Last
it's all
Jedi.
about the gray, right? It's all about
Oh yeah,
sorry, not Force Awakens. No,
Last
no, the
Jedi.
Force Awakens, the
Oh.
new one, episode 7.
Mhm.
Six, it's episode 7 with Ray. The books always said that it needs to
Eight,
be more
eight, no?
holistic.
Yeah.
It needs to be more than
Yeah.
just black and white. So he'll understand like, oh, even if you chose the lightsaber, you are still thinking
A
about
foundling.
yeah,
Foundling.
you're
Yeah, but
still always going to be a Mandalorian. So here's the armor too, and then go about your way. That's what I think.
Yeah.
I hope that's the case, but I think it's just gonna be straight up. He's not gonna be a Jedi. He's just gonna be with
With
Mando.
Mando. Mm.
Because
Yeah.
as I said, if he's a main character, they're not just gonna stick him for training montages for the next 3 years while
I
Mando's
think
doing shit.
my hope is for the next Mandalorian season, he won't come into like episode 4 or 5 as a surprise guest, like
No,
as a like towards the end of the episode. Like I'm done with my, or I know enough to be dangerous now. I'm gonna come back to you. But again,
Yeah,
I'm
so
just dreaming.
no, I know
It'll
that's
probably-
our dream too. But when I
Yeah.
was young, the thought of him not becoming a Jedi would have been devastating. But now knowing more about like
Mhm.
especially Yoda dropping the ball and shit, I don't mind
Mhm.
it. You know,
Yeah.
and they didn't make that starfighter like that for it to be empty. The
Yeah.
back seat to be
With
empty.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
back.
The back seat.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Yep.
he's gonna
Grogu will
be
be the gunner.
he's
He's
gonna
the
be there
gunner.
one way or another.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
then we get to and when he gets back to Tatooine, there's just something about Din Djarin, man. The shot where Fennec's doing the speech, and then she goes, "This is Din Djarin, the Mandalorian Din Djarin," and then he's like with the hip out,
Like a
gunslinger pose, like
Like,
I'm the
so-
shit, like I'm shit, I'm the shit.
My armor is way shinier.
Fuck. So that's cool. And then we go to Cobb Vanth, and then Cad Bane. And I think this one was so well intelligently and intentionally done with the deputy. This
Mhm.
setup makes
Yep.
it because they needed to show how Cad Bane was a badass.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then the only one person who could do that was Cobb Vanth. But they didn't want to kill Cobb Vanth. If it's a straight
Mhm.
one-on-one and Cad
Cobb's
Bane
dead.
doesn't kill Cobb, then he's not that
Mhm.
badass. But this way, when you
Correct.
introduce the deputy, he beats Cobb Vanth, doesn't do the kill shot because he has to deal the blow to the other deputy. So this way,
And he started with the other deputy too. He shot the other
he
deputy.
started
No,
with
no.
Cobb Vanth. He started with Cobb Vanth and then
Oh.
went
He
went
shot
to
him in the
deputy.
shoulder and then
Mhm.
lit
So-
up the
So
deputy.
this way, we get everything. We get Cobb Vanth alive, and then we get Cad Bane being still a badass. And come on, man, that fucking walk from the distance. That sound like, I just needed that sound like, oh fuck. So it's so good. I mean,
And then he turns around and becomes Clint Eastwood instead.
and the voice, the
Punk.
Cobb Vanth voice, the eyes, the expression, like the face was really moving
Menacing.
with facial expressions and stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, with I'm just so happy with like MCU and Star Wars. Like, I don't remember this back-to-back shows where me and the kids are screaming, multiple times
Mhm.
in an episode. Like
Yep.
R2, and then Luke, and then Ahsoka, and then Cobb Vanth again, and then Cad Bane. Like, so sweet.
Mhm, mhm.
So yeah, that's I love it.
RJ, thoughts, favorite scenes and storylines, and your predictions about the next week.
Well, Arnie and CHUBAX basically said all the main points. I do love these subtle touches and how they introduced new characters into this Book of Boba Fett season 1 without it trying so hard. I like that it just naturally happened.
Mhm.
I'm still super impressed with how they really got Luke Skywalker. I was messaging CHUBAX.
100%.
What the heck did they do then? What did they do?
What did
so
they
many
do?
others.
And can I get it too? I want to be
There's
de-aged.
so many
I wanna
angles.
look.
There's so many
Yep.
angles now. There's there's straight
Yeah.
shot. There's from
Yeah.
below and
From the
side,
bottom, yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
moving. So they really thought about it. It's like, I wonder how much they spent on that. They should just get
And
Sebastian Stan
hey.
to make it cheaper.
True, but then we also saw that what do you call it? Corridor crew episode that the more footage that they have of a particular person in deepfake, the better it goes because it's a kind of like an algorithm, right? So
Yeah.
Ads.
the more Mark Hamill, the more they deepfake him, the better it gets. So
True.
I'm even more
But-
excited for the future.
In the credits, they stated the stand-in of Mark Hamill, which is what's his name? Graham Hamilton. So probably someone who kind of looks like a young
Oh yeah,
Luke
he's
Skywalker.
the
and then
pilot from the episode,
episode.
Yeah.
last episode.
Yeah.
oh, okay.
The
okay.
rookie, like the rookie
Awesome.
pilot.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So he's the stand-in. So probably just a little deep fake here and there. But
Did they use
awesome.
Mark
It
again for
was-
the voice? I didn't check.
Yeah.
the
It
credits.
seemed
Yeah.
I think
Mhm.
they just like filtered some of his voice to make it younger because
Younger.
He sounds like the Joker at this
Like, you
age
know,
now.
Yeah,
Tighten his
I
balls.
was watching some of the kind of funny and like, was it Anthony Carboni said, let's get this out of
Carboni.
the way. Like, the deep fake in the voice, it's not perfect. But then
No.
again, Mark Hamill's
fucking
not 20-year-old guy.
Yeah.
I don't fucking care.
Correct. You can't.
old,
You can't
you know,
do so much
so-
for that.
I
you
know.
Hmm.
So like, let's temper our expectations, guys. Like,
Yeah. Unless you want Luke to be purely an animation, you just have to accept that he's
Or
going to be CGI.
or
if
just
he aged.
shoot him from the back and parts of the body. Like,
Yeah.
no, this
No.
is the best that we could do.
or just
Yeah.
gets
Yeah,
I
and,
don't
and
know.
it's done well. I'm not
Sebastian
complaining
Stan.
about it. If anyone else would complain about it, you know what? Go make your own film.
I know.
Go make your own scene.
Yeah.
Right. One thing that I wanted to add. So when the sheriff was shot, right? I like how authentic the team is. They use the same language or the same terms
Stem
for
packs.
healing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Med pack,
Get a
yeah.
stem pack. Get a med pack. Get some
Nice.
stems. So these are terms that you would hear throughout the entire Star
KOTOR
Wars
as
universe,
well,
and
in
even
the
on their
games.
even in their games. Yeah,
Mhm.
in KOTOR, right? Your healing is the med pack and the stems. So I'm happy that they kept that. I was like,
I just
"Oh,
I just
awesome."
wonder where Cad Bane parked his like
Xanadu
Well,
blood.
they did say that you should
Oh,
be parking
he-
far in the flatlands.
Yeah, far. Yeah. So he probably
But,
parked in the right.
but I
place.
wonder how long that walk was just to make it to do the badass entrance.
I think that's the reason why they let people park that far away so everybody can have an opportunity for like a WWE entrance.
Yeah.
Entrance music. huh?
Maybe that's why he shot the deputy dead because he got one shot to the sheriff and like 3 or 4 shots to the deputy.
Yeah.
Because the
Fuck
deputy
you for
asked
making
him
me
to
park so far away.
Like, this is parking validation. Validate my parking.
And I think
Oh
Fo-
man.
Fort was the one that told me in the legacy books, it was Cad Bane who did the dent on Boba
Yeah.
Fett's helmet.
Oh, okay.
So that's one of the
Oh,
theories that they'll probably
We
do a
don't know if
flashback.
it's because they made the old series or old books
Non-canon.
Legends.
non-canon, so we don't know if that's still the case here.
If that's
Yeah.
gonna keep up. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah,
All right.
Jong. Oh, are you done?
Prediction?
Yeah, prediction.
Oh yeah,
Prediction.
Yeah.
My prediction is that Grogu is still gonna stay as a Jedi.
Oh,
He's
really?
gonna be because that's his most powerful self. But that back seat does sound tempting. So he's gonna be somewhat related, but I don't know if he's gonna get the full Jedi training, but he's
'Cause-
probably gonna be a Jedi because it's hard for him to be a Mandalorian.
But for me,
His
as he's
size,
a main,
stature.
he's a main character.
Yeah.
I think the most training montages you can do is one season. You can't
Okay.
push it too much. Like
Yeah.
people are gonna get tired of
Plus
seeing him with Luke doing nothing.
training. But
Yeah.
his age also, the way his race ages,
Mhm.
it's
Mhm.
not normal.
him a
'cause
long time.
At this
Mhm.
point, he's already 50. So
Uh-huh.
I don't know. So he's gonna be that tiny. How is he gonna help out?
I don't think he even
Mando.
can hold that Yoda
Well, he-
lightsaber.
Yeah, he can jump now, so he can.
He could jump.
That's
he could
true.
Force heal. He could force choke or crush.
But dude, I
he
don't know
can
if
eat
Yeah.
frogs.
So that's what I hope. He gets that,
Yeah.
and then maybe
I-
join in Mando.
I don't know
I
if
just want him
any-
to join in, but be more useful rather than being
Yeah,
protected
yeah.
all the time.
Yeah, that's why I'm
Yeah.
thinking
Know what I
maybe a
mean?
year of training. So he's
Yeah.
enough
Yeah.
to be enough to be a mercenary so that he can go with Mando but not finish the Jedi. Because Luke said
Yeah.
it's gonna take years. By the time he's
True.
finished, it's gonna
Yeah.
be
He
a long
he
time.
is going to
Unless
be
he's like a genius.
well. I think
Well,
I
even
mean
then,
every let's say every main character that we have in Star Wars has a droid.
Mhm.
Mando doesn't like a droid,
Yeah.
right? So maybe
Mhm.
he is a stand-in kind of like sidekick as a he's essentially a real life R2D2, but can
Or
force choke people.
maybe he learns enough force to eat all the frogs
Mhm.
and cause some chaos to the ecosystem. And Luke says, "Go away, go to Mando. You're destroying this planet.
no,
This
but
is
dude,
all I have left."
I don't know if any of you read Lone Wolf and Cub. That scene
Oh
where he
yeah,
makes him
Exactly.
choose. Oh, I got
yeah.
goosebumps. I remember the Lone Wolf and Cub scene where there's the toy and the sword. And
I read a lot of it from you, actually.
if you choose the ball, I'll kill you right now. If you choose the sword, you'll
Yeah,
go with me. So good.
Yeah.
it's not really much of a choice.
Well, some
But he
people
was a
might want
baby.
Choose the ball and die.
He didn't know.
Mhm. We discussed a lot about all the things that we liked about this episode. The few things that I will be adding before we kind of like go to Arnie and wrap it up is,
Mhm.
um, I still highly kind of remember, or I think that the lines about um Jedi's being by themselves and Mandalorians being togetherness is not a throwaway line. And
Mhm.
then now it's kind of like highlighted that you have to choose the armor or the spear, which is kind of like right now, like Luke and everybody else is trying to show the binary of things. And
Mhm.
if you set that up too much, it means that naturally it's going to be a combination of both. Like that's
Yeah.
the kind of like the resolution. So when that's going to happen, I'd rather have it as kind of like the tail end of the next Mandalorian
Yeah,
season
that's
rather
what I'm
than the
saying.
next episode.
Yeah.
So
Maximum season one training, but
yeah, maybe
he
so.
has to come
I
back.
think that's gonna be the case. He's going to like train a little bit more with Luke, and
Mhm.
then maybe if the next Mandalorian season is 7 episodes again, he'll come at episode 4 or 5, right? Like Luke will do another cameo in that scenes like, hey, I think
It's
we
Sebastian
are
Stan.
both we are both going to be the role models for Grogu. Like you as defense and togetherness, and me as protector and
Yeah, and he
spear,
should
right?
listen to
Yeah.
Obi-Wan. Only Sith deals in absolute.
Yep.
Yeah. So
It's
I
not
think
like
that's my main prediction. And the other thing that I wanted to add is, yeah, we are so surprised. Like I have it's very hard for us to get surprised by shows or anymore with the number of shows that we've seen, whether
Mhm.
it's horror, thriller, high school drama, zombies. There's always going to be like, it's hard. We're impressed by the story, but we're rarely surprised. And I
Mhm.
think we're continuously surprised by Disney Plus series like this, because we have been trained for decades that we know like Luke will not pop in. It's a one time. If they pop up, if they pop in the series, it's a one time thing,
Mhm.
right? If
no, and we've
Ahsoka,
like you said, we've been trained not the surprises, but we've been trained that they don't do what we like. We
yeah,
don't get what
Mhm.
we
yeah.
want.
But also it's like the idea of like, we understand that it is like what you mentioned. If you keep on doing Easter egg stuff or keep on putting fan service, it's fan service. It's not done in the benefit of the story. It's just done to draw some hype
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
and serve fans. But like what you mentioned, CHUBAX, they are integral to the story.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mhm.
they're doing it multiple ways. Of course, backdoor pilot, I hate it, but it works. So now we see Ahsoka in action. We kind of understand how big this new Star Wars world is. So that's great. But for Luke, it's going to be detrimental for to the story that everything that he did with Luke is kind of either a off screen, right?
Yeah.
So if we understand Grogu is gonna come back to the Mandalorian series, but if we
Mhm.
didn't get this episode, and if we don't get additional episodes with Luke, and he just comes back to the Mandalorian, and everything that he did will be like training montage, and I'm the biggest fan of training montages, but that's not going to be as good as this,
Mhm.
where we see Luke, where we see the choices. We don't want these major story points to be done off camera. We want it
Yeah,
you know,
agreed.
in the actual scene.
If they did just regular Boba Fett series, and then Grogu comes back in season 3 of Mando,
Mhm.
then Luke appearing in season finale was just a fan service because
Yep.
it's like
Yeah.
nothing happened. He just came in and came out. But this one,
True.
there's a substance. So
I like the idea that
There's a
because
reason. Yeah.
Filoni and Favreau are such big fans, all of these things, elements that they add,
Mhm.
they understand that we have to reward the fans of 50 years, right?
Mhm.
We have to reward them, but also we have to make sure that whatever they do plants the seed for the future. And this is essentially building like, all right,
Future. Yep.
this
Yeah.
is Mandalorian is a world, Boba Fett is a world. Like last week, but my note last week was that episode was both the best thing for Book of Fett, but also the worst thing for the Book of Boba Fett because it's always going to be in the shadow of the Mandalorian. This episode shows there's no such thing. This is just one big world. It's
Yep.
just different, like maybe Book of Boba Fett has a little bit more Boba Fett, and then Mandalorian has a little bit of Mandalorian, but this is just a big world. And now I kind of understand what they're doing,
one of the
I
theories is
freaking
that
love it.
Ahsoka's looking for Thrawn and Ezra because there's like a big bad alien race coming, and they need
Mm.
them for
Oh,
that.
Yu
So
Vong.
yeah, maybe yeah. I mean, I hope
Oh,
there's
okay.
something bigger because uh we know where
It can't
Luke's
be
head.
Palpatine again.
No,
Yeah.
we know where Luke's heading. We know
Yeah.
Ray and
Mm.
the Galactic is going, but that doesn't mean that we can have a big bad on the side because it's a fucking galaxy.
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
We could have
Um,
had Grogu dealing massive bad guy shit
Yeah.
over here. Not even connected to what happened to episode 7 to 9. So
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. From the unknown territories could be. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. Beyond the Galaxies. All right,
Yeah.
final predictions, and then let's start with you
Okay.
in terms of how you are going to rate this particular
Okay.
episode.
So final prediction. So I'm thinking just because of what happened in episode 7, 8, 9, we all know what happens to Luke's Jedi school. So we know that Grogu either dies there or, which I think was going to happen, is he chooses the chainmail,
Or maybe
or
he's
maybe
already a full
during,
fledged Jedi and he's
yeah,
gone.
or because Grogu I think now is like Luke Skywalker back in the old trilogies, right? So maybe Grogu senses that the Mandalorian's in danger, so he basically tells Luke, "I need to leave. I need to help Mando." So basically what Luke did when he sensed that Leia and Han are in trouble, he left Dagobah, and his training not
Mhm.
complete, and faced
mm.
Darth Vader, right? So I think that's going to happen again. It's a lot of history repeating itself.
Good call. Yeah.
Yeah. And then as for the future of Star Wars, I mean, this sets up a lot of possible storylines, just like what Jong said. And it's basically MCU Star Wars. So, Hawkeye was, yeah, it's a show, but it's connected to the MCU, right? So it's a good setup. I think the Book of Boba Fett, the purpose of this show, which to the positive or negative, is just to open up the world to bigger storylines in Star Wars, and hopefully Boba Fett's still part of that. And anyways, the rating for this show, I mean, I would say there's a 10. Like if you're a OG Star Wars fans and you love Luke Skywalker, you got this, man. And if you're a Mando fan, there you go, you got it too. If you're a Clone Wars Ahsoka fan, you got your fan service too. So everybody got served except the deputy. He got served bullets.
He got
Oh.
served too.
He got served.
RJ, about you, what's your rating for this episode of the Book of Boba Fett?
Same. I'm sticking a 9. I like it. I love the Western showdown. I don't like a lot of Westerns, but this was pretty good for me. Um, yeah, the scene with Luke Skywalker was awesome. I really liked. It's like time traveling back
Mhm.
after Return of the Jedi. So this timeline is actually after Return of the Jedi. So
Yeah,
that's what I was searching online.
5 years.
5 years after.
Mhm.
So that's why he's in his black. That's why Luke
Nice.
Skywalker's in
Oh,
his
he
black.
changed his outfit too. It's a kimono. It's like a kimono now, or like a karate gi instead of the
Instead
The
of the Jedi
turtleneck.
Padawan.
yeah.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
true. But still, the
Chuba-
all black. That's pretty
Mhm.
good.
I'd
Chubax, what's your rating?
I'd go with the 9. Just it's still amazing like last episode. Only detriment is because yeah, not enough Boba Fett. But still great, still amazing, still jaw dropping. Um, yeah. I mean, for predictions, just one prediction. I mean, what if they, as a
What
fan,
if?
I'm a fan of 7 and 8. See episode 7 and 8. But
Last Jedi.
what if they fucking remove it? I mean, they piss
I
off
mean,
Kathleen
retcon.
Kennedy, but yeah, what if they retcon it? They just go somewhere else.
Mm,
I don't know. I mean,
it's possible, but
we never
I
thought we'd
don't
get
think
Luke twice. So
that's true. That's true.
never
That's
say
true.
never.
Cherry
what
on
if,
top, man.
what if Snoke was Grogu all along?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll do my rating is this is a 9.5. The again like combination of what Arnie mentioned and Chubax mentioned.
Yeah.
Probably the best Star Wars episode that I've seen, Mando and Book of Boba Fett combined together. The only reason why it's not getting a 10 is again, not following directions. Right, not following we have what 4 seconds of Boba in
Yep.
that episode.
They
That's the only reason. That's the
Yeah,
only
like
reason why it's not
like I
perfect.
said last week, they could have done 5 episodes of Boba Fett and then just had Mando one shots. Market it like that, like we got
Yeah.
special Mando.
I think there was
Two-shot
like they wanted
two-shot.
they wanted to surprise us, which again I appreciate. I like this have right. Last week's episode I thought was like again very very bad for Boba because what's gonna happen is in my head every time that I watch Mandalorian and I watch Book of Boba Fett will always be cannon fodder. That's what I thought.
Mm.
But them doing 2 episodes like this, I kind of imagine like, all right, moving forward,
Anything can
it
happen.
might be under Book of Boba Fett, but
Yeah.
again, it might have one
It's just
episode of Ahsoka.
It's just Star Wars.
yeah,
It's
it's
just
just
Star
Star
Wars.
Wars. Yeah.
That's the reason why I'm hopeful
Yeah.
it's no longer detrimental to the show because
Yeah.
it's part of the DNA now that all right,
This
all
is
of
it.
these stories you're gonna have to watch all of them. So
Yep.
you're gonna have to keep your Disney Plus subscription, but
That's the
still
plan.
right now until it's
That's the plan.
yeah,
That's-
until it's cleared like what you said, Chubax, like now that maybe we know this, maybe next season is going to be, hey, Mandalorian season 3 is 6 episodes of Mandalorian and then one bonus episode of Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe that's going to
Could
be the
be.
model moving
Yeah.
forward.
No,
but until they do that, it's not going to be a perfect
Yeah.
10 for me. But it's the highest
Well,
praise that I could get.
But that's
Okay.
very very well said, Jong, because most of the comments it's like the title is Book of Boba Fett. It's like
Mhm.
they're not following directions, like you said. But
It's just a surprise.
after
But if they
this-
did it,
but after
yeah.
this series, they did it twice now. You can't
Yeah.
use the same thing for the next for Mando.
exactly.
Anything can
They were just
happen.
trying to keep the if imagine if they did say like, all right, instead of the Book of Boba Fett and then the title screen says Mandalorian special, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Or
I'm already like, huh? What?
or,
No,
or
but-
or maybe season 2 of Book of Boba Fett will be Boba Unchanged, Unchained. That's when he becomes a
they-
badass.
I also see the point why
Django.
they didn't change the title. It's because would you get that screaming part when Mando
no,
just
it's
started
just
the
it's just
intro? So
Exactly.
it's just a surprise factor. So I'm
Yeah.
already predicting that next season of Mandalorian will have like,
Anything goes.
instead of the Mandalorian, it says Ahsoka.
Mhm.
right?
Well-
Or it says Book of Boba Fett, something to that sort. Because we're done now. We're good, and then everybody understands the format now.
The
I
flow.
appreciate that
Mhm.
they got us again. I never ever thought that they'll do Luke again. Let
Mhm.
alone
Same.
they already put Luke they already put Mandalorian last week. I didn't even expect Ahsoka to show up.
Yeah, that's the one that
It's
surprised me.
the
the best.
gift that
What?
keeps
I
on
was like-
giving.
On
man.
giving.
The best. So all right, I think we have our all of our ratings in. Healthy discussion about the Book of Boba Fett. Again, next week we'll have the last episode. We'll add a
Boba
couple of
Unchained.
more. Yeah, we'll add a couple of more elements to next week episode regarding our best scenes in it, our favorite scenes in the Book of Boba Fett. But before that, we're gonna move on to episode 6 of the Peacemaker. I will turn over the mic to the handsome Raymond to give us the plot.
All right. Thanks for that intro, John. So episode 6 is Mern after reading. Now this is
Mern
where we begin the episode where episode 5 ends with Mern chasing after Leota under the rain. It turns out later on that Emilia or Hardcore found out about Mern, and when she confronted him back then, he admitted it being a butterfly. So Leota being totally, what? You knew about this? Yeah. And yet you still trust him? Not because of emotion, but because of logic.
Logic.
Economos also knew this, but prefers to act like he doesn't by plugging his ears.
I love it.
I don't know anything.
I love
Wait,
it.
he literally plugs his ears?
I thought it was metaphorical.
And he does. The moment Hardcore sees Economos come in, oh yeah, and Economos knows about I don't know anything.
The
So
best.
I like how childish he is, but you know. So
It works.
Leota's like, "What? You guys knew this?" Anyway, so Mern explained that their planet was dying, so the butterflies were dying. So they came to Earth for survival. But the Queen, the one inside Senator Gulf, became ambitious and decided to take over the Earth. So rather than coexist, they wanted to take over. So they started taking over powerful people, the government, media, maybe even celebrities. So with Leota agreeing not to tell Waller, they reviewed the footage from the distribution center, and they found that there was this truck that delivers something steadily, which
Picks
they
up.
suspect to be
Picks up from
picks up rather. They suspect it to be the raw amber fluid that they need to make the butterflies food. So
From the
Mern
cow.
mentioned, Mern really revealed that this must be coming from the cow. And then Leota goes, "There's a cow?" I mean, so did I. I was like, "What cow?" So-
I love that. Sorry, I love that cut. You didn't tell her about the cow. So there's this. But do you want to? Do you really want?
Yeah. So there's this, and then the intro song comes in. I love it. Very smart. That's right. And they still didn't tell much about the cow throughout the entire.
It's just they cut.
So after the intro song, back into Peacemaker's house. Eventually, Vigilante comes over. Come in, and then obviously he knows it's already Vigilante. How do you know it's me? You knock in a funny way. So
Annoying way.
Annoying.
I know, annoying way. So Sis joins him and realizes, hey, you still keep that? Talking about golf, right? So he admits that he probably keeps it due to his insecurities. You know, so you want to keep a dangerous animal because of your own insecurities. I love that he just snaps to become sensitive. But more than that, Goff started to draw a peace sign, and that's what Peacemaker starts to communicate. Oh, did you draw a peace sign? Can you tap once for yes, twice for no? So yes. For some reason, Vigilante wanted to know if the favorite color was teal, because apparently maybe Vigilante's uniform or costume was teal. Fucking
I didn't notice that, but yeah.
So they try to figure out what else to ask, right? It just in this episode, Vigilante comes out more of a simpleton than anything. That's why Peacemaker ask yes or no questions. Anyway, Detective Song, after in episode 5, was able to get a warrant from her uncle friend, who's a judge. This warrant was to arrest Peacemaker, and because of that, releases Augie, Peacemaker's dad. So as he says goodbye, he goes, "All right, so as goodbye for you people means probably like ching chong chopsticks." And they go,
Chunk chops.
"Oh no, your Google Translate must have gotten it wrong because that meant a donkey shit on your head." Nice comeback, actually. I actually like her comeback. But then Fitz, her partner, when she says, "See ya," Fitz goes, "Would I want to be?" That was so bad. Which he admitted that, yeah, I know I screwed up, okay? Anyway, that was so bad. I was like, what the hell? So after getting him out, he decides that he wants to kill his son, which he should have done a long time ago. Then Mern decides to reach out. He gets a heads up from the chief of police, and which is a person that Mern actually placed in there. So he finds out that the police is heading over to Peacemaker's home to arrest him. He tries to warn him, but Peacemaker's phone is on silent. He decides to call Vigilante, and his ringtone was Barbie Girl by Aqua. Don't ask me why.
Barbie girl in a Barbie world.
What the fuck? I'm loving Vigilante even more, honestly. So they warn him that the police are coming, but he's, try to get their shit together. He wasn't even able to get his helmet. Oh, because the helmet's in the base, pala. So he grabs his stuff. Vigilante gets Goff and then tapes Goff around his body. They escape up through the sky roof. Cops not able to detect them. Ransack Peacemaker's trailer house to find whatever evidence they can. Find a lot of weapons, and they find the diary that was planted by Leota. Okay, but I think Mern kind of noticed because when he said about a diary, Leota was the one who reacted.
So just to clarify,
kinda,
I think Waller's plan was to kill all the butterflies and then blame it on Peacemaker.
Blame it
right?
on Peacemaker.
blame it
yeah.
on Peacemaker.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Or in case they got
Which-
found out, they would blame it. Which
Exactly.
already activated.
That's true. That's true. Towards the end, it did activate. But I like how, Peacemaker and Vigilante try to escape out, jump through the trees. Vigilante slips, falls, breaks the glass.
Breaks
on his
the
back.
glass
I'm
of
surprised.
Didn't kill
I'm
Goff.
surprised he wasn't stabbed or something.
I thought Goff would
Anyway.
have been killed also.
I thought so too, but maybe these butterflies are more resilient than
More,
what we give
yeah,
them
you need to
credit
shoot
for.
them.
Yeah. And just zooms into Detective Hong's mouth, starts convulsing, bloody. So that's how they take over. They kind of probably dig up their brain. They start running away, cops chasing after them. They get to Eagly actually getting full action here.
I know,
Eagly
fucking
taking
badass.
down
Eagly
3
up
or
to
4
fucking
cops.
badass.
Like 3 or 4.
No, 3 or 4 cops, man. Like Eagly even tore out an eye or something. Awesome Eagly, very awesome. So Vigilante was throwing knives, right? So killing cops. Just don't kill cops, and then Eagly swoops in and starts killing them anyway. Wow, he's badass. So
And then he
anyway,
throws
Gouging
another,
the eye out.
another knife, and then he's just probably paralyzed.
yeah,
He's
at
not dead.
worst, he's
At
paralyzed. I love his character. So eventually they get the knockout 3, or they were actually cornered by 3 cops, or 1 cop left siguro, with a gun. Then that cop gets shot in the head. You get to actually see what's the name of the guy? Caspar Locke. So the chief of police shows
the
up,
creepy
kills the
one that Mern asked for help
placed in
for.
place. Exactly. Looks more like an Undertaker, to be honest. But anyway, so kills everyone else. tells them that they have a car waiting for them. So they go get in the car. Eagly jumps in as well. They drive off, and he pretends to be saddened by the death of these cops. When they ask, was it Peacemaker? No, it was another Caucasian wearing stripes and a red necktie. He had a mask and a fedora hat. And they realize he was describing the Hamburglar.
At first, I thought he was
Bravo,
gonna describe the white dragon. Then like a fedora.
I know. A fedora hat. And it was, it's either he's just fucking with us or he's, really
Stupid.
either he's describing the Hamburglar or he's just really fucking with us. Yeah, he did describe the Hamburglar. So he goes back to the trailer. He sees that someone gets the diary, takes it as evidence, hides it in his office. Scene cuts out.
Burned it.
Should have. I know. I was thinking he would have. Peacemaker makes it to the base, gets reveals that that Goff escaped, and we're like, what? Because Peacemaker actually told him that he killed him, but he didn't trust any of them. He wanted to actually know more about the butterflies.
And for good reason.
And then
Still fucking lying to
and for a good reason. Exactly. So he started sensing that they know something that he doesn't. And he thought, he was a bit upset because he felt that it was actually a team. So he tells everyone that Goff took over Detective Hong. Mern prepares to lead the group to the farm, which Economos actually found. So he did some backtracking. He found the source of where the truck is, which is a farm. So Mern decides to go there because he believes that's where the cow is. And since most likely it's going to be underground, just like all the other bases. Augie, at the same time, gets his group after banging a hot chick, who is definitely part of his group as
There's
well.
also a.
I think he just got a blowjob.
Oh yeah, that's what he
Yeah,
asked.
he just said he just
I don't
wanted to
know.
get his dick sucked.
That's
Bah.
true.
and I'm
that's
going to
true,
do something
that's
that I should have done before.
Kill my son.
Kill my son.
So he goes into his interdimensional weapon room, and they start strapping him on with the white dragon costume. Even the girl that sucked his cock off was put
He's
on
also
the mask.
is a white supremacist.
Yep, absolutely. Now the scene cut to Detective Hong. She's by the edge of this field or by a lake. Suddenly, drones of spaceships come, housing a lot of butterflies, a legion of them. So she goes inside the police station, music playing in the background, butterflies starting infecting everyone, infecting even the police chief.
Mm-hmm.
So she
Lock.
gets all of the cops and the prisoners in the
The prisoners.
cells. Everyone was infected, right? So Peacemaker back in base, bit down, sees Hardcore engraving the Dove of Peace on a
Devil
P90.
piece.
He gets it, and it says, "Yeah, Dove of Peace is facing the wrong way." But thank you. He appreciates it. What the fuck, man? So anyway, he appreciates it. And then Hardcore goes, and he goes, "Good night." And then she gives her name, finally, Emilia. So starts playing a sentimental song. Is that really John Cena playing the piano?
It looked like it.
I
It
won't be
looked like
surprised.
it.
it.
I won't be surprised. I mean, he learned
It-
Mandarin or something to
That's
market
true.
WWE. So
Not kidding. It looked like he was actually playing. I was thinking, yeah, there are some scenes just on the face, at the back, but there are also some scenes.
Holy shit!
With
Long
his
scenes
veiny
that you can
hands.
actually see, and it seems like it was correct, but
Not,
I mean,
yeah.
maybe like he learned a little bit of it, but yeah, it looked great.
Here, Google. Not only can Cena play the piano, but he is a self-taught musician and enjoys showing off his skills whenever he gets a chance.
What the heck?
Yeah, buddy.
Man,
Awesome.
John Cena, man.
Respect.
you can't see him.
Respect, man.
Can't see him.
Respect.
Talented self-taught pianist.
Absolutely amazing. It was really good. It was a good piece, and he was a bit dramatic over it. He was troubled, you could sense. Then next day comes news. It goes, Vigilante goes, I didn't know you had a diary. And then they see the news.
I use
Entire
it's fu-
police force.
No, I fucking don't. I use my notes. I don't even use it.
I have a notepad and I don't even use it. So they see the news and the whole police force is gathering to catch the one and only Peacemaker. And episode ends. That's it.
It's
What do you
What
think
do you think
about it?
I love it.
All right. Go ahead.
Favorite storylines and yeah, we'll do the same thing. Predictions. Start with you, CHUBAX.
I keep loving this episode. Everything is just hitting so good. One of the what? Let's start from the start. The whole this conversation with when they were interrogating Golf was so funny. With Vigilante and like Peacemaker just like, because you keep fucking interrupting me. And then as he starts to explain his side, Vigilante chimes in, shut up. And then
Silence.
it just pissed me off that they kept lying to him, but then I guess, they don't really trust each other, so that's par for the course. I like I was surprised like Harcourt and Economos already knew about Mern. And well, my favorite thing is aside from the Eagly massacre,
Mhm.
what's his name? Captain Locke?
Lock.
Did you notice
Locke,
that
yes.
he acts more human after he got possessed by the butterfly
Yeah,
than
I think that
before?
was the.
That's
I think
true.
that was the
he's
the
so-
twist with him.
He's so fucking weird, bro. He's like the end credit scene of him practicing to be sad.
Yeah.
How the police officer is deaf.
Psycho.
He
Such
said,
a fucking psycho,
does
man.
it sound sad?
He's so from what my understanding is, he's the friend of Mern, the bad guy, right? Like
Yeah,
The bad guy.
human,
The old
Yeah.
Mern.
the old Mern. Okay,
Because the
so-
butterflies still retain the memories of
Mhm.
whatever they take over.
Yeah, so
That's something that I like.
well, I love it. I can't wait for next. I saw the promo for next episode. It's gonna be like all way battle royale between the group versus White Dragon, and then I guess they're gonna try to fight the butterflies too. I don't know. I love the series. Still going strong for me. Everything, all the dialogue, the Leota, the discussions, like her being torn,
Mhm.
like you can really feel it because she really does like Peacemaker, uh, Vigilante. Like how can you not love his fucking stupidity? And yeah, I love everything. Jong.
So I enjoyed this episode, maybe not as much as the other episodes, but only because of I felt there was a little bit of laziness in terms of the main storyline here. Still great. I mean, I'm just saying, like, it is, maybe above
pause-
average instead
Pause
of
before
great.
the storm.
Yeah, that's
Mm.
the thing too. Like, I understand that we only have a couple of more episodes, and everybody's armies are set up.
Setting up.
You have Goff inhabiting the Asian detective. You have, of course, the payback of the White Dragon's armor. All right, so because he's wearing his armor again to fight Chris, and there's also still like this impending secret that everybody knows that Mern is a butterfly but Peacemaker now. So that's going to
Yeah.
be coming out in the next few episodes. So that's good. This particular episode though is like we already anticipated about the butterflies being like, maybe there's some faction that are good, some faction that are bad, or I'm not sure whether Mern is
This is
the only
one.
butterfly
He
that
said,
is.
I think there was a line there where he's the only one.
Oh, the only one that kind of
Yeah,
turned when
but
he realized that they were going
Yeah.
to and I also like the idea that the reason why Mern was taken over because Mern was such a horrible person.
He was a murderer. Yes.
Yeah, it's like
but
and
I did like
even the
that he did say that he's a horrible person, but yes, I still took away his chance to become good.
To
Right?
change.
even he could have changed. So I like that all of those were dropped. I just like it wasn't impressive how it was dropped, but
Mm.
yeah, it's a James Gunn Peacemaker DC series that you don't need like extremely poignant ways to push the story across. What's more important is the action of the episode. There's a lot of action. There's action in the woods. So like even just the idea of the setup. So I'm excited that we're going to shift from like there's no more story, although the cat's out of the bag. Next couple of
Mhm.
episodes is just going to be
Just-
resolution. A lot of fighting. So I really, really like
A
that.
lot of fighting. Yeah.
The only thing that I'm kind of still, I struggled a lot with was the diary, because the diary was shown and it was found and it was, oh, luckily the police captain was able to find it before it gets to evidence, and then the police captain gets co-opted with the butterfly, so it's out again. So it's like I didn't get why you had to do all that hullabaloo for a fake diary that no one
Mhm.
will believe, like nobody in his team would believe that he wrote anyway. So
Yeah.
maybe there's a little bit more in terms of that diary for future stuff. Like
I think
maybe
it was
really,
just
like
it was just the excuse that it was the evidence that linked Peacemaker to the killing of the senator. So that
true, but I was
is
thinking
like
like if it was gonna if in at the end of the episode it was still gonna go out anyway, why did we have to spend a couple of minutes
with the
pre
delay back and
butterfly
forth.
police cap and yeah, right?
the
Might
back and
as well
forth.
just like it goes straight to evidence. Done.
Mhm.
Right. So but again, maybe there's another little part there where we'll spend a little bit more time with Leota explaining her relationship with her mom and what's
Yeah.
happening. So yeah, there's not my favorite episode. I think the most impressive part of this episode, the thing that I loved about this episode is like how badass Eagly is.
Oh yeah.
Fucking
And the
I'm happy.
and the way it was shot when them running and then Eagly's just
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
moving left and right.
Swooping in.
yeah. So that's
Okay.
it. So I want more of that. So I've heard this in a bunch of different podcasts already, but if they fucking kill Eagly, I
I'm
will, I
stuck.
will, I will email James Gunn. So that is my one goal.
The only one that can
Jay,
replace for me for Eagly is Mern's butterfly. If he leaves Mern and then he becomes like Eagly 2, the butterfly.
oh, that I'd be,
That could be fun.
I go for that, but
Eagly
as
will
long
have
as
a butterfly in.
I just want Eagly
Butterfly.
to continue on. Butterfly.
Butterfly.
Yeah, and I think that's it. Jay, what do you think about the episodes before we go for a round of
Ratings.
ratings?
I love it because it sets up. It keeps me interested in what's coming next. So we know with all of this setting up, the camp of Augie setting up, the policeman setting up, and obviously, the
White Dragon.
11th Street
Oh, yeah.
kids,
Mhm.
11th
Oh,
Street
yeah.
kids group are setting up, and the only way to defeat them all, really, is with a cow. Again, the fuck,
The cow.
man. I mean,
I hope it's
we
like
started with
one actual human person.
giant ugly
No,
cow.
I want a little girl.
Oh, that's sick.
Only from the mind of Jong.
Are you surprised?
Nope. So yeah, I'm anticipating the next episodes, which we know the last two are gonna be a lot of fighting. And I agree with Jong. I hope Eagly gets more screen time.
Yep.
He really deserves that. The other episodes, Eagly was really more of a decoration or a pet.
Yeah.
Now you really see Eagly as a freaking
Trained
weapon.
motherfucker.
Massive.
Has
I know.
has Eagly
Badass.
hugged him yet again? No.
No.
This
Not
was
yet.
better.
But there is a lot of love. This is
Okay,
way better
okay.
than the hug.
I look forward to that. I'm catching up.
I do love the intro where you see Eagly.
I think it was CGI though.
Anyway,
I mean, I still don't
Yeah, of
skip that
course.
intro, man. That intro, I mean, it's
No,
stupid,
no
but,
skipping intro, no skipping extra.
Nope.
but the
No,
way they just
absolutely. It's
committed
so
to that
great.
intro, that's yeah.
Well,
Oh,
maybe
we
it's not
for-
CGI because in
I think
Hollywood
it's CGI
or
because
in
they
films,
released
train.
behind the scenes.
No, I mean, I know
And when they did
Eagly's
the final
CGI.
scene, Eagly wasn't there.
Oh, okay.
Just for the intro,
But
so
the,
I
but
don't
the
know how
whole
much.
the whole dancing thing, that's just a good commitment there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Did
Oh, hell
we
yeah.
mention that the school the school thing with Peacemaker?
Oh no, I failed to do that. So Peacemaker
That was just funny.
was invited by one
By
of
the
his
janitor.
friends.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
For show and tell, show and tell.
and fucking tell.
Did you meet Wonder
Show
Woman?
and
No,
tell.
but she was fucking.
He was
was
IFing.
fucking me.
I said
IFing.
effing.
I am.
Dude.
I said yeah. Anyway, so let's start with the ratings.
Oh, sorry. One major
Oh.
thing that the episode kind of showed us to that we forgot to share the detail is we did kind of see that Peacemaker accidentally killed his brother
Yeah.
when they
Yes.
were young. So maybe there's a little bit more there, but there was a scene that Augie was probably training them both.
Yeah,
And
or he
then
was goading the
Peacemaker-
brother to kill him or to beat him up, and then he won.
Yeah, and
Something like that.
he won. So that's the reason why Augie
Augie's
is a
angry.
His
little bit
brother.
angry
Yeah.
about him because he probably thought that, or Augie thought that Peacemaker's brother was a lot better than him. But that's one nice thing. See, there's so many like half details in this
Correct,
episode
correct.
that was dropped that even that was like kind of like, oh, I thought that would be a little bit more important, but they just kind of like showed it as
By the
like a
way.
flashback. Yeah.
Yeah. That was pretty good.
Mhm.
Lalo na when the kid, that's actually triggered by the kid asking, do you have a backstory?
An origin story.
Origin
Great,
story.
great point. Great point.
Right. So that was
right.
okay.
Ratings?
All right.
Ratings.
Rating, I'll go for 9. Still 9. Quite high. How about you, Chubax?
I go with maybe 8.5 because it's a little drop from the previous ones, but it's set up, so
Mm-hmm.
it's like the 0.5 is gonna go to the next episode.
That's true.
You'd probably give a 9.5 if that.
Yeah,
is
or maybe
right.
even a 10. So let's see. John?
I'm an 8.
Right.
I'm an 8.
So he's
I think
drop,
there was
8.5
a little
drop.
bit pacing issues or a little bit more of delivery of the message. Too many important details in this episode that it didn't breathe, like about the butterflies, about Mern's backstory, about Peacemaker's backstory, about the diary and whatnot. So if this were, well, I guess if they had 2 more episodes and they could have stretched this episode into 2 things, that would be better. But still not bad. 8 is a very high. So
Yes.
It's
all
pretty
right.
good.
We're done with A block and B block in terms of our discussions for our week-on-week streaming TV shows. Now we move towards our main block, our main topic, episodes 4 to 6 of the Legend of Vox Machina, Critical Role's tabletop gaming turned into animated show. Turning over the mic to CHUBAX to give us a bit of a plot summary of the 3 episodes that dropped this week.
So yes, we get the second batch of 3 episodes, 4, 5, and 6 of The Legend of Vox Machina on Amazon Prime. We start at episode 4. So to recap, last episode, the Briarwoods showed up in a party in Iman, and they got into a fight with Vox Machina because Percy told them that the Briarwoods were the ones that killed his family and took Whitestone. So At the end, the Briarwoods escaped, and Lord Uriel arrests the group, our
Vox
merry
Machina.
group, Vox Machina. So to start the episode 4, Shadows at the Gates. Vox Machina is under house arrest. Lady Allura managed to smooth things a little bit. So instead of just heading straight to the dungeon, they get house arrest, and then at the same time, the Briarwoods noticed that the book is missing that Vax got. So they send these in a cool like this cool scene where Lady Delilah really brought the voice acting. Someone's like undead in a like a combined ghost zombie thing. It's not like not
Mm-hmm.
really one or the other. And so at night, Vox Machina go on with their you know complaints and rants inside their keep as they're under house arrest with Scanlan trying to read the book, and then I love that scene with what does it say? Oh, and it says this, and then fuck you, Vax. And he just
Actually, I'm gonna find for a GIF or GIF about that because I like that.
it was
So
just
it says
so
this. How about
fuck you,
can you
Vax.
translate this? It's a bad.
Or this, or this, and this.
And then so throughout the night, the guards around the keep are being killed one by one by the undead that Delilah took, and then Pike's having some problems using the Everlight. She thinks she's been cursed by Delilah from that fight, and then Jarrett, the captain of the guard, watching them, finally gets in and realizes that there's somebody killing his guards and it's not Vox Machina. And then they are attacked as they are together by the undead. And I just love
Very
the
violent,
show.
very cool.
I love the show where they're doing those dialogues and it transforms to like your typical Saturday morning cartoons with
Mhm.
some curse words in the middle, and then you get this fight
Yeah.
of just really violent blood.
They're using a good combination of like medieval terms like period pieces, but also like very colloquial, like yeah, fuck you, fuck you. It's like,
Yeah, no, and also the change from that funny, like almost heartwarming stuff to the like violent, like the choreography and the
oh
blood
yeah,
oozing the eyes and just like
the
holy
eyes are
shit.
bleeding. Yeah,
Yeah,
I like that we see all of
uh,
them being beat up.
yeah. And oh, just like a sidebar on that. I was watching on Critical Role. There's like a watch along with a Q&A watch along with like the first 3 episodes. There was a watch along with Mercer, Travis, and Sam Riegel, and then I think that one of the directors or writers. So they watch the show, and then after that they answer some Q&A, and they mentioned there that the first draft or storyboard for like the first few episodes 1 and 2, the most of the animators that they have are used to drawing children's cartoons, right? Most cartoons
Mhm.
are for children. So like when they were getting hit in the first 2 episodes in the storyboards, like bumped or fall down and stuff like that, and then says like, no, and they went back then. No, guys, we want you to fuck us up. Like fuck us up. Like so after that, they like really fuck them up. So Jong's point, like in this episode, we see Keyleth, dragged to the wall and just like snapping like that with blood. I think it's dark blood, right? It's like necrotic damage. I'm
I
assuming.
think it's like yeah. I
Yes.
mean, I
It's
don't know what
yeah.
it means, but I
That's
just like the idea
necrotic
that yeah.
damage.
So it's like bleeding from the eyes and the mouth and Canlan too, and then they're shoved into a room and then they're they're losing and then they realize that the only thing that the undead are scared of is light. So Pike tries to use Everlight once more and fails again. So Keyleth, the one with basic debatably the strongest among them, but the one with that least experience and confidence, finally able to go Goku on them and unleash this light. And I love the scene when they unleash the light and then they realize they can hit him. Like no,
I think everybody's
and
like,
it's just so violent. Like in normal cartoons, you just see like maybe a character will go in and then just stab him like that. No, no. Going like that. And then Grog and then Percy was like stomping like they're all screaming and they're all pissed and like So they beat those, and in the end, Jarrett agrees to leave, let them leave because they're gonna avenge the guards that
The
were slain.
guards.
And then I love that surprisingly they went with Pike leaving the group for a while because in Critical Role, Ashley Johnson always leaves her extended period of time because she's working in New York for Blind Spot during the first campaign.
Mm.
So there was times when
Oh,
she's
they
gone.
work that in.
Yeah, so they worked that in with the Pike leaving because
I didn't realize
yeah,
that.
and then sometimes like they would like in this part, Ashley Johnson was gone in the Briarwood arc, but then there would be episodes where she would come in. So the way they would do it is like she's in the temple helping them do something, but they would send like an astral projection of Pike because
Oh,
she
cool.
sensed that they needed her. So it's stuff like so. Then
Yes.
and then the next episode she's gone again. So like the astral projection fizzed out, and then the next episode she's back. So she's like the astral projections are there again. So it's like it's creative stuff. So that's episode 4. Sorry. Next episode 5 we got Fate's Journey, where the guys go to Gilmore, try to steal stuff, but then they get
Steal
found out, so they just buy
Just
stuff
buy it.
expensively, and then we get some sort of the shipping here. The do you see who they're shipping, John?
Yeah, I mean Vax and Keyleth are
Uh-huh.
being shipped.
Okay, who else?
And of course Gilmore and Vax also.
Okay. Who else
And
do
a
you see
little
with him?
bit of Scanlan and Pike is what I've
Okay.
been seeing.
Anybody
Yeah.
else?
Mm.
Oh, are they
Yeah.
trying to ship Vex and
The druid.
no, the shooter guy.
Percy,
Uh,
maybe.
Percy.
No, not neither confirm nor deny. But yeah,
Mm.
for Vax, he kind of had a fling with Gilmore
Of course.
in the campaign, but here they're just mostly flirting. So in episode 5, they travel. Grog is depressed because Spike stayed behind, and then on their way, the group's attacked by more undead monsters. But this one is more like
Wargs.
Wolves.
yeah, what wargs, big dead wolves
Wargs.
or like
Or
of
dire
mutated
wolves.
mutated things like that. And after a fun scene, they lose the cart, right? They lose
They lose the car. They lose everything that they
that they
bought,
bought,
and they lose the fucking book.
and they lose the book during the fight.
You know
So,
what? I was feeling at this point they rolled poorly.
yeah.
That's why they lost everything.
So after
I was
that,
like thinking, fuck, that was a crit one.
they take a they camp out in a rest, and I love the scene where they all tell stories about their like was it weirdest kills, right?
Weirdest
I like
kills,
that. So
yeah.
it means that. So I'm looking forward to watching Easter eggs about these episodes. But
Yeah.
them doing flashbacks on their most unique kills and the
Mhm.
weirdest monsters that they killed that could have happened pre-stream or
No,
something like
some
that.
of them happened in stream. Like I remember Grog's one where
Ah.
he ripped the
Rips it
jaw off
open.
and
And
then
bit
bites
the tongue?
Yeah, and then that travels with them. So it's like so awesome. What was Scanlan's weird kill? Can't remember what
No,
he said.
like he was just
It
having
was
sex with the regular
having
person
sex
within
and
a
then
second head.
monster.
Oh, okay. So those are the ones that
And
really
he still finished.
Still finished.
those scenes are just amazing because they just increase the chemistry, the heart, the story of the and then you see Vex also being jealous of the brother because
Mhm.
started at Keyleth because it's always been the two of them. So he sees Vax liking somebody else, and then he's starting the
Be careful of
she's
those
unhappy.
vines because they have thorns too.
They have
Yeah,
thorns.
Ah!
So meanwhile, during that, Pike stays at the church, and he realizes that it wasn't Delilah that cursed her. It's like she's been
Herself.
in denial, right? Because even before that, she
Mhm.
was already having flashes of problems with the Everlight. So they're still trying to
Yeah.
help her. And then in the end, Percy, while they're walking towards Whitestone, Percy describes the sun tree Was it the sun tree? Yeah, the sun tree and all its glorious light and stuff. And then when they get there, it's just like dark, like really black and fucked up and
Derelict White Stone.
yeah. So they're really surprised how bad the White Stone looks. And then we get to episode 6, the Spark of Rebellion, and one another fucked up moment in the intro where they get to they're stealthing their way to Whitestone. They get to the Sun Tree, and they see how many? Six or seven people hanging, and they've been dressed like, including two
Yep.
kids. For
That's
the
cool.
Like that was so
Cool.
fucked up.
I like that they kill kids here. Like it's like kind of like realistic.
It's not for your. It's not. It's
Yeah, it's
cartoons.
very
not
realistic.
for
News flash.
kids.
John likes killing kids.
I want my own, but the idea is like if you're in a war, like,
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck,
you
yeah.
don't
For effect, yeah.
Mhm.
So during this episode, it's a little mix and match, but they try to find Keeper Yenin because Percy thinks that she's the one that can help them lead the rebellion. And then at the same time, while they're looking for her, giant undead giants or zombie giants attack the main base of the rebels, including was it a dwarf? Yeah, dwarf voiced by the Hobbit.
Moynihan.
Yeah, Dominic Moynihan, and captures him. Archibald.
Archie.
And Archie is a friend of Percy from when they were young. So once they find Keeper Yenin, Yenin says that to help them overthrow Whitestone, they need the help of the rebellion, and to get the help of the rebellion, they need Archibald. So they go try to save him. They make plans to save him. They split the team up, front door and back door team, and of course Scanlan's in the back door.
Scanlon goes, I like the back door.
And then here's another Easter eggs where they always have problems in doors. Like in the Critical Role campaign, they always roll bad against doors, so they always have issues with doors. And there's even one where in the campaign where it's Percy, Vax, and Scanlan trying to open this door. And Scanlan dimensions doors. He wastes a spell just to get in, but he can't open it because it's like barred, so it's heavy, and he's only like a gnome, so he can lift it up. They do many things just to try and open it, and then suddenly like Percy says, "I look for a window. Is there a window? I go in the window." There's a fucking window. So they try to go in, and once they're inside the house, all hell breaks loose. Lots of fighting. They meet one of the bad guys under one of the principal bad guys from Briarwood. What's his name?
The shooter.
Talk- No, like
The one that was in the
talk to him
barrel.
something.
Stonehead or
Captain something.
Yeah.
Oh,
something like that.
Stonefell. Captain
Stonefell.
Stonefell.
Thank you. So Stonefell's the one in charge here, and so they fight. They free Archibald. Lots of rebels die. Lot of guards die, and then as they're escaping, Percy goes crazy and what term do we use here? Like go Sasuke. What term do we use for him?
Bangkai.
No, for him like going crazy.
He does look like a Bankai.
Yeah,
He goes,
he just he goes crazy and goes bloodlust style, wears his mask and changes his voice and goes for Stonefell and kills him brutally, amazingly. I love it. Like it's his name is literally on the barrel. Like there's many.
Is that
barrels.
part of like a spell that if he has extra damage because of like there's a couple of people
Do you want me
within
to
his
spoil
gun?
it? There's gonna be like You want me to spoil it?
He will die when
Oh.
he kills everybody that he.
No. But I'll spoil it.
Sure.
Go.
Yeah. So before he met like Vox Machina, he in his quest for vengeance, he makes a deal with like a creature, like a shadow demon or something. So that's the one that is possessing him and giving him some strength.
So once he kills everybody, well, he gets vengeance from everybody. He'll die.
I think so. But
The demon will take
yeah,
over.
that was the
Yeah.
plan. That didn't happen.
That's
But basic stuff.
yeah. But again, it's kind of like standard fantasy fare. Yeah, I can agree.
But then the way he kills like Stonefell was like so great. And then, so yeah, the fight scene here is
I like that his
amazing.
gun has the names of his victims.
Oh yeah, I know. And then Grog finding the barrel of ale, and then just so sad when he
Throwing it.
needed to use it as a weapon. And then
I'm not even sure that was ale. The barrel had a skull.
it's
I'm freaking thinking it's poison.
and then how
The
does
barrel
the
had a
episode-
skull on.
I can't remember how it ended.
Yeah, they were like leaving the burning.
leaving, and then they realize that Archibald tells Percy that he has a sister. Cassandra's still alive.
Cassandra is still
And then we
alive.
see a shot with Cassandra and Delilah.
Briar.
So that's where we end
Lady
episode
Briarwood.
episode 9. So let's start with you, Jong. What do you think about the episode and favorite things?
I
as the-
like
as
I
the
like this
non-critter.
episode. Yeah, so I like this episode. I like the idea that I was just talking to my friend Kira about it, but um they are giving us so I'm tackling this series as a standalone animated fantasy adventure. But I do have a little bit of background that it is from a game. So everything that they do, I imagine in my head, like, oh, did they roll bad? Did they roll good? Or flashbacks? Oh, was there a few episodes that were dedicated to this particular flashback? So it kind of interests me in the depth of additional lore that can be found in this particular series. So that's good because it's kind of like, all right, it's not chained to these 12 episodes. There are certain, channels that will do deep dives about this that I can I can enjoy. It's just I didn't find it as fun as the first 3 episodes, but I love that there is a major action piece for every episode. Because my big fear was because they were dropping it in threes that maybe one is set up, one is action, and then one is for the next 3 episodes. So I love the idea that every episode has its own little story, little action piece. Like the 4th episode was the black things, the black ghost, the necromantic people. The 5th episode was the wolves, the wargs,
On the move, on
the
the
chase scene.
Mm-hmm.
And then the 6th episode was the prison fight. So that kind of entertained me into the entire story. I'm starting to get concerned though on how big this story is. Like, if it's 12 episodes, just the Briarwood arc, then I think it'll be enough. But they're doing bits and pieces of everything else. That's kind of natural because it's the first season. Like, we're learning about Keyleth's thing. We're learning about
the Shari.
the Ashari. So, and then this is mostly Percy's fight, but we still have Uriel and what's that princess, the queen's name? Forget.
Lady Allura.
Allura. So
She's not the queen.
there's
She's
so
just
many-
like advisor, wizard advisor, sorcerer.
There you go. So there's so many things that are happening that I am kind of getting splintered in so many things. And I know 12 episodes. I don't think 12 episodes is enough. So hopefully the pacing kind of gets tightened up. But again, it's still not bad. I if they keep on continuing action piece per episode, I'd be very, very happy. Starting to get a little bit more of the capabilities of each of the characters during the fight. The more that they fight, the more that you see how they work it. Even there's this, like, during the campfire scene on episode 5 where Scanlan was trying to learn some spells and failing. That was fun. That's very entertaining. I think Scanlan's character is stealing the show.
Like he did.
Every time that he does something. So I think I'm becoming a Scanlan fan, particularly because he bangs everybody even if he's short.
Yeah, we kind of knew that from the beginning. We knew that on our next campaign you're gonna be a bard.
I'm going to be just fucking, and then I'm gonna have like that's. But and I think my last point here is, like, again, it's not as strong as the first three. And I think the major issue there is I hate it when the party separates. Hate it.
Well, this one is only Pike.
I understand. Like that's even worse for me if there is one character. And now learning about the backstory, like this is a tribute or an adaptation of what actually happened during the series. They couldn't rewrite this, right? It's an important portion. I just don't like I hate the fantasy trope of like, oh no, I have the yips. I need to go someplace and I need to like no, I it happens all the time, so I don't like it. But looking forward for
At least
for
there's
Pike
there's
to,
a real reason here why they did it.
yeah, I mean,
It
but I
softens it a
always
little
like
bit.
yeah, so it softens a little bit and it's kind of like a real world reason rather than a fantasy reason. Like because even like the yips in fantasies, I was like, come on, let's kill some more people or let's
It goes on until campaign 2 as well.
oh crap,
And
I don't like the
'cause
yips.
she's still working. I think the what they did in campaign 2 was they made the character itself, but it's not the yips anymore. Like I think her character Yasha, if I'm not mistaken, is like a barbarian who's antisocial. So like
Okay.
she just
So
leaves sometimes and then come back.
Yeah,
So,
again that's something that it's a storyline in fantasy that I don't like, particularly because they're doing such a great job with Pike and Grog. I like their dynamic.
right? I
I
just love
love
that.
their dynamic.
I also
I
love
love the
that.
love that they have.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I
So
just love
that's where
that
the
where Pike is like she's the most pure-hearted, but her manners
Yeah.
are just like Grog's like grew up in the
They
bar,
drink.
you know, like
Yeah.
get
I
drunk and stuff.
and it seems like when Pike was leaving and Pike was saying like, oh, just how or Grog was saying like, oh, I'll go with you, like
Like
like back
always.
before, just the two
Yeah.
of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's like,
No.
can we do a spin-off of just like Grog and Pike?
Because
I'm
for the
Body
backstory,
cop,
like
body cop
in
spin-off.
the origins, Grog was kicked out of the clan he was in and beaten up, and he was found by Pike and her grandfather, and they took him in. So kind of grew up together in a sense. That's why they're the too close. They were together before they met Vox Machina.
Yeah, I like their pairing the most. And then what I think it was episode 4 when they started cordoning off people, right? So like
Yeah.
there's
Percy and
Grog and
Keeler.
Pike, and then Vex, Vax, and Scanlan, and Keyleth and Percy. I like that. And that's the only time that I would like
The split up.
different stories per group
And I
because you
like
can
where you see the in different dynamics, and you see Vex and Vax like, we can sleep out of here, just the two of us, no problem. Do we leave
no
now?
problem.
Yeah.
I like and even Percy just like spilling mustard all over the book. I see those I like, but uh there's a lot of good setup in 4, 5, 6. I'm looking again. I is very excited about this series. Last point. I'm looking forward to season 2 when they get a little bit more money because you can really see that there's inconsistencies in terms of the animation of this show. Like you can see where they
Where
save
they save stuff. Yeah.
saved frames. Like I right now they are still at 3,000 frames per episode. I need them to be around 5,000 to 8,000 where it's super smooth because like the intro is so good, and the fight scenes, like a lot of the fight scenes are good, but a lot of the in between
It's kind
where
of like
they save a lot of money.
like Invincible, where
100%.
they cheat it up
But
to save.
but that's what happens usually the first few seasons of an animated show.
Yeah,
Like
but dude,
once we get to Avatar and then Korra,
you
then you can
gotta
see.
you gotta appreciate that this started as a Kickstarter. You just wanted to do one or two
Bro,
episodes.
again, you're getting Amazon money now. There's no reason for you guys not to be like scrimping on this shit. So again,
I
so
hope they're
that's
getting Amazon money. So that
again, it's Prim Studios, and they're doing a lot of stuff. But again, I'm very nitpicky about this show. Like it's just because like it's so hyped. It's all over my timeline. I'm always kind of everybody's like over the moon with this show because they're highly invested, and I'm still semi-invested, not as invested as all you guys, but I love this show. Jay, how about you?
I love it. I'll go against Jong here. I love the fact that the characters split up because it adds depth to each one. It adds a focus on Pike and her challenges. And then it also revealed the dynamic that she had with Grog. I like the line where she goes, "You should go with them because they need you." And then Grog, in his puppy voice,
I know.
"But what about if
I need
what about if I need you?"
And then she just cries and hugs him. Like
I
she
know.
couldn't say anything.
I also wanted to cry and hug Grog. Oh, you big old softy. I like his character. With extremely low intelligence, all muscle, but he can be the most ruthless. Because even when he defeated, when they were fighting those specters, those zombie ghosts in the beginning, and finally, what's the name of the druid?
Keelan.
Keelan was able to summon like a sun or maybe glowing orb of light, allowing them to be tangible, so you can hold them, touch them. Even Grog like bashed the face of one of those skulls until it
You
was
just go like
totally
that.
nothing, and then rips the upper half of another jaw. Massive, massive, violent person. But then again, you have his super simple, loving side. He goes inside when they were all split up in their rooms within the keep. They still, by the way, haven't named the keep. It's still not Grayskull.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna use it. Like they're gonna name it
For
Grayskull.
for no, for
Copyright
Trademark.
reasons.
Yeah, there's a trademark.
yeah, that's true.
Do you
But
know
anyway, so
that
they're keep.
just on a trivia, the name of the group pre-stream was the Shits. That was their name. Jong, we lost you. Audio.
Like ours
The-
is like the brochachos.
Yeah,
We could still have like the legend of something or
like after
something more awesome.
And
After level 5,
we'll get the shit together and actually have a cool name.
Okay, go,
I
go
know,
on,
right?
Jay.
Something we could be proud of. So when they were split up, Grog, I like his character here. It really came out. He's so hungry. I'm hungry. Nothing to eat here. Oh, what's this? Spices. No, those are the ashes of my ancestors. I was like, oh. And even though that's the case, Pike didn't get angry. So you can really sense that she knows.
Yeah,
She
knows. I
knows.
mean, if he's your friend for that long, you're not.
I know.
It's your fault if you get
You're
angry
you're okay.
for-
You can
for him
live with
being
all that
himself.
loss. I know. That's pretty awesome. Scanlan, of course, is awesome. It's such a tiring character to play. I don't know. I really foresee a lot of characters that are worth investing backstories on, but I'm happy that it's Percy's backstory that we're going through. I'm liking it. I like the darkness of the gunslinger, which by the way is a homebrew
Class.
build, right?
Yeah, from
So it's a
Matt
class
Mercer.
that's not, yeah, it's not part of the books, but
Like Jong
um,
for the gunslinger, he has to roll, and if it's a fail, there's like a range where if he fails but not too bad fail, it's a jam. But he fails like really
Mhm.
low, it can fuck up the gun, and he can't use it again until
backfire.
he fixes it
He
on a long
fixes it.
rest.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it's like, and then he can have like 3 attacks, but he has to reload as well. So pretty cool.
Mm. It's very strong, but it's also with its limitations, allowing it not to be too OP. So that's
And
a
I
pretty
don't-
good.
Yeah, and I don't know if you
Character.
caught it, Jong, but the name of his new gun, the long one,
The
It's-
long one.
and the one he used to scope.
Yeah, the sniper, the scope. Yeah.
It's bad news.
Oh,
Isn't
cool.
it? And then like
I like the idea
Oh,
that
that's why.
the
That's why
scope
when
is
they
just like
asked,
multiple.
so what is that? Oh, this? That's bad news.
it's bad. So
I
and then
didn't know that was the actual name. I thought it was just,
And
this
like
means bad news.
during the campaign, there's like when they're gonna fight, he says, "I take out bad news," and then I think it was Laura that said, "Nothing travels faster." That's so cool.
Yeah, nice.
That's so
But
good.
even like
That's
the
more
way
like a
that they
sniper
designed the
scope.
scope is like really cool when he was assembling it
Yeah.
while they were. It's like, oh, like it's not like one scope like that. It's like a lot of
Lenses.
monocles. Like
It's so
cool.
good.
And then they have that bag of holding.
Yeah, yeah. I like that
The
That's
way that
true.
he
you would have
carries it.
you didn't catch it if you're not D&D. Like, how did that fit
Mm.
there?
That's right.
That is like so cool.
Because it's a bag of holding.
That
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
cool.
I
That
like
was
the
cool.
action. I like how violent it is. The prison fight scene where it was quite fair, wherein a lot of allies died, but that obviously a lot of guards were also massacred.
Mhm.
When
Red
the
shirts.
boss
A lot of red shirts.
when the boss came in, when the boss came in, that was a bit of a touching moment because one of the allies saved Scanlan.
Mhm.
The boss comes in with a massive mallet and then pummels the head of the ally,
You can see the brains.
chopping off the top part of the head. Yeah, dude, super violent. I wouldn't watch this with your kids, man. No, actually,
I showed
I
them
would
some
watch it with your
snippets.
kids.
I showed them some
I would
snippets.
definitely watch it with my kids.
They're fine. They're fine with the. I'm
But
fine with the violence. It's more of the sexual nudity
the
and stuff
nudity
that
of
I
Scanlan.
kind of skip
Yeah,
a little bit. But yeah,
that's true.
is that all, Jay?
I'm
Anything else?
excited, man. I'm excited.
I
I'm
know.
excited. I want to know more about the sister of Percy. What's up with her? Is she good or bad? We don't know.
Oh, that's true too. I mean, there's so much action. I kind of never. I
Thought
didn't
of that.
think about what's going to happen. Whether if she is part of the massacre
Mm-hmm.
of Whitestone,
Could be.
or she was brainwashed.
So for me, you guys said everything already, so I loved it. So good. I would say that it's not as tight as the first three. Like there's just something special
No.
with the way the first three was set up with how the first one ended with the dragon reveal and then the kid's death. That statement showed like this isn't your
Hmm.
typical fantasy, show. And then with the second episode with the amazing dragon fight, and then the suspense with the nice action with the Briarwoods for the third episode, that was something special.
Correct.
But this one holds pretty good. It's really as Jong said, lots of fight scene, and then there's also the small moments like the fuck yous and the storytelling in the campfire. So that's good. Like and just another trivia also in Critical Role, like during the campaign when Percy finds out that he has a sister, he's walking like with Vax because Vax has a sister, Vex, and
Mhm.
then uh Percy he does that line when he does in the show where but he says like Vax, I have a sister, and then Vax looks at him and says, and then you know how good they are with their improvisation. It's like, yeah, they're pretty cool. Like oh, that's
Yeah.
so cool. Like, but yeah, so that yeah, let's just head straight to rating.
Ratings.
Jong, you go first.
This is an 8.5 for me, and it's
Okay.
mostly for the action, right? For the mostly the continued establishment at every episode. So if you are somebody that is not watching it on Amazon Prime, maybe it goes to your country as a week on week Saturday evening show. There's going to be a good action set piece and resolution every episode. So it's not going to be those one of those troubling week on week shows. So yeah, it's mostly that again, like what you mentioned, not as tight. But that's the pitfall of having a limited, 12 episode limit in terms of so many characters, so many arcs, so many backstories, and they're just trying to lay a lot of exposition down for now, and then hopefully in the future it's going to be a little bit better. Jay?
I think I'll drop down to 8.5 for my 9.5 in the first three seasons. Only reason for which is I agree with CHUBAX on the first three were action packed. Every episode was an eye opener. It was amazing. And for now, because they're focusing on the Briarwood arc, so it's like from zoom out, you see things in amazing action-packed details. Now we zoom in, it seems a little bit longer, but the elements are still there. The characters are fantastic. They're well made. Um, I love how they made the split natural. I love the love that they have for one another, the action, the spells, the effects. Um, in terms of the necrotic damage, and maybe because we are playing Dungeons and Dragons, I start to notice,
little
they had a
thing.
crit fail. Oh, they rolled good here. You know what I mean? So that's what I appreciate being a player in Dungeons and Dragons, not in real life. That's Jong. So
No comment. No comment.
Uh, so
Hate the
yeah,
game. Hate the game.
I know. Sorry, love the player, but but overall, still a fantastic um show to watch. So definitely looking forward to the rest. Maybe a swifter resolution to the Briarwoods, because I know there's so much more stories there. I know there's gonna be a lot more, or maybe straight up to the Briarwoods. But I feel because they reveal like another boss, the Duke. So definitely, they're still gonna have to fight the Duke. They're still gonna have to fight a lot of other stuff before they reach Briarwood. So we're probably gonna get the Briarwoods towards the last 3 episodes.
I think so. But for me, yeah, so I'll go with the 9. It's also a drop from my last 9.5.
Mm.
But yeah, I'm just gonna tease like next. There's gonna be an episode. I think it's gonna be in the next week. It's gonna be like you're gonna love it. It's just if you, Scanlan, like shit. I can't wait. Like everybody's been waiting. Like I've been on the Critical Role campaign comments and like everybody like I saw this clip in the trailer. It's this episode. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. Oh, can't wait for next week. So that's got a 9. I mean, yeah, there's some pacing issues, but I mean, what else can you complain? Like, solid voice, amazing action, amazing
Mhm.
song, soundtrack is good, great, chemistry, some of the little.
We didn't have a
story-
Scanlan song. That's the reason why it's not as good for me.
There was
Was
when he
there?
fell down the cliff.
No, he was just like he needs to sing to activate his Scanlan hand, but an
Oh,
actual
yeah.
like ditty, right? I actually like before we head off, like I subscribed to the Spotify playlist of Legend of Vox Machina.
I think you
And then
shouldn't
I
read
cannot.
it because you might get spoiled.
No, like is it there?
No, I think it's coming out soon. Even I'm staying out because I don't want to get spoiled on like
The
because
playlist?
his lyrics are
Oh
very,
yeah. So well, I'm still waiting to have a road trip with my friends and then play these songs. And then I really want them to react to a song that is about beads.
pull
Pull my beads of love.
my
Pull
I'm
my
beads.
very
beads of love.
excited. I'm
Oh.
excited for like on a road trip and then we hear pull my beads of love. It's like, what the fuck are you listening to? So
Dude,
sorry.
when you get married, I'm gonna wear a black suit with
Like,
a
anal
multicolored
beads?
cod.
Oh,
No,
you-
with a multiple colored cod piece.
you? No, that's going to be that's everybody's theme.
The
Rainbow
the groom
cock
side,
piece.
rainbow
Yeah.
cod piece that lights up
rain-
at night, of course.
100%.
Okay, that's it, John. I'll take us home.
Okay. All right. Great discussion about Boba Fett, Peacemaker, and the Legend of Vox Machina. Do not forget, next week we're going to continue these 3 shows. It's going to be the last episode of the Book of Boba Fett. So we'll be preparing our favorite scenes, our MVPs, our Rookie of the Years of that
Ooh,
show. So
that's
it's going to
nice.
be a more fun episode. Penultimate episode of Peacemaker. So that should
should
set
do
up a
that
lot of
all the
fun
time.
discussions as well. We're right in the middle of the Legend of Vox Machina. So episode 7 to 9 of that particular series. We're going to keep on continuing making that our main topic. And as reminders, thank you very much for your support. We will have 2 winners of $25 or its equivalent cash prices, or at least digital transmission of said cash prices to 1 old subscriber. So that is a subscriber that subscribed to us before we hit 100, and 1 subscriber that subscribe to us after we hit 100. We'll draw those names next week. So tell your friends if you haven't yet, tell your friends to subscribe. They have a chance on winning a couple of cool prizes from us. And again, our 100 subscriber will get $63. Again,
Woohoo!
finally, listen to us. If you don't want to see our faces, we're on every major podcasting application across the world. We prefer Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Amazon. Leave a review. It helps us with the algorithms. You can interact with us by tweeting or sending us a note on Instagram. Our handle is at +63HP. And we are very, very happy to announce our custom URL, youtube.com/+63HP.
+63HP.
Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you can get notified when our 3 shows drop on a week-on-week basis. We have this review episode dropping on Tuesdays, our first D&D campaign dropping on Wednesdays, and our Reacts episode where we react to trailers, clips, and snippets on Thursdays. I'm gonna turn this over for final goodbyes to the handsome man from the West, Arnie.
Hey. So yeah, just click like and subscribe. As Jong mentioned, subscribe to this channel. You might win $25. That's nothing to sneeze at, man. So
RJ.
Thank you again for all those likes and follows. We do appreciate if you spread the word. And of course, send us a word by writing down your comments. We'll see you on our next shows.
CHUBAX.
Yeah, thanks. I'm really enjoyed again. Watch out for those prizes, and we'll see you again.
And I am Jong. Thank you very much. And we will see you next week. Thank you and goodbye.
Tako!